Hey everyone, today for writing, you're going to be learning a little bit more about what is a description. This is going to help you for tomorrow because we are going to start another descriptive writing similar to our zoo one, but this one, you're going to have a little bit more freedom in how you write it. So I want you to make sure that you're following along just so you can be more prepared for tomorrow. So what is description? So down here, there's a picture and then a little paragraph. It says, in the best stories, writers use description to bring the characters, setting, and events to life so that readers feel like they are a part of the story. Description is interesting language that is used to show what characters, places, and objects in a story act, look, sound, or even smell like. So I'm going to go to the next page.
Select the tabs to learn more about how to use description in your stories.
So if you look here, I'm going to read a little bit of an example to you, and then you can kind of see how they used those descriptions. So it says, Daniel's eyes grew as big as golf balls. He took off in the direction of the garage. His legs were moving so quickly that they looked blurry. The noisy birthday crowd huddled together and followed Daniel to the front of the big white house. They watched as he lifted the massive garage door. In the middle of the garage was the bike Daniel had been hoping for. It was glossy and black with an enormous red bow tied around it. It had bright orange and blue flames painted on the side. Daniel looked at his mother. She had a huge smile on her face. Daniel sprinted to her and gave her a giant bear hug. So some of the words are highlighted here. So then if you go to the next page,
can you see how the writer doesn't just describe what the character
it talks about how the author is really talking about and describing to you. His eyes grew as big as golf balls. So they're not just saying his eyes got big. They grew as big as golf balls. So they're trying to make you picture what that looks like. Then here, moving so quickly that they looked blurry. So I imagine like a superhero when they run super fast and they make it look blurry in like the movies. He was moving so quickly that they looked blurry. Again, the big white house. They didn't just say the house. They said the big white house. The massive garage door. They could have said big again, but instead they used another word for big, that massive garage door. So it just shows a few other things like down here. She had a huge smile on her face. Daniel sprinted to her and gave her a giant bear hug. They could have just said he ran over and gave her a hug. Not as fun, still a sentence, but not as fun. He sprinted to her and gave her a giant bear hug. So there's a lot of different things that they added to paint that picture for you. Then here it talks about using adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe something. So with this, it's talking about adding those extras like the big white house. The big and white are describing the house. The enormous red bow. Instead of just saying the bow, they included the size and the color. The giant bear hug. Not just a hug, but a giant bear hug. So whenever you're starting to think about your writing, I want you to just think about tomorrow, how can you incorporate some of these things into your own writing? Because you can do that. You guys are going to be wonderful authors. So it just takes a little bit of practice and time to like slow down and think about what you're doing.